All right, everybody, welcome back to the Lions Pit podcast. I am your host, Nick Gomez. With me today is my good friend, the one and only Eric Primal Swoldier Leija. What is up, Savage?
What's up, savages? Just hanging out.
Yeah, man. Pleasure
going
to have
down.
you on, dude. I appreciate you coming out here.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah. I knew I had to
Excited.
get you on. I was like,
Hell
I got to
yeah.
get that personality out there.
That's right.
Yeah. So you taught this morning?
I did. Had a class this morning.
Kettlebell class.
A
How long have you been doing?
kettlebell
You've been doing kettlebell stuff for a while, huh?
Yeah, man. Since I started training, I've been a coach for 10 years, but I started incorporating kettlebells into my training back since I was like 15.
Okay. Oh,
I
wow.
was like doing some MMA training, and some of the fighters that I was training with, their strength and conditioning programs consisted of a lot of kettlebell swings and snatches. So
Smart.
that's when I got exposed to kettlebells, and when I started coaching at Onnit,
Mhm.
we're selling kettlebells, so we got certified.
Yeah. Perfect little segue there. Yeah. Where were you doing your MMA training at that time?
I was doing it all around town.
Okay.
There's a place called the Vasquez Academy back in the day.
Okay.
I think they're still around.
I feel like I've seen
Coach
like
Rudy
little flyers
Vasquez.
for them.
Yeah, they got flyers around town. That was one of the only gyms in town,
Yeah.
16 years ago.
Wow.
And then a couple other gyms that closed down a long time ago. A couple old school Austin local fighters had a couple gyms open. A bunch of kick-ass wrestlers around town
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, that's when I first came out here. You know what's funny? One of the first trips I ever came out here, I realized, and this was 2016, 2017, it was you that kind of helped me realize that Austin didn't have like a great MMA scene because I
Yeah.
was up at the cafe. I came out for a cert, and I was ordering something at the cafe, and that day, Cowboy Cerrone was fighting Darren Till in like the UK. So it was like a 1 p.m. start time here. And I was asking around. I was like, hey, where's a good place to I was asking the girl working the cafe. I was like, where's a good place to go watch fights? And she's like, I don't know. And then you were sitting in the chairs like in the lobby, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, man, there's not really like anywhere to watch fights around here. You're like Buffalo Wild Wings. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Because in
Twin
Albuquerque, Twin Peaks, I ended up going to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, nice.
But in Albuquerque, it's such a big thing
Really?
that it's everywhere. Like you can go to like any bar, and some might have a cover charge, some might not.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Albuquerque, you can find fights at a lot of places.
Yeah. Now Austin's a little bit better.
Oh, it's popping off.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Obviously, like we got we're the mecca for jiu-jitsu nowadays.
Yeah, we really are like the hot spot for jiu-jitsu with
it's
like
crazy.
B Team, New Wave. You're getting Gracie's out here, Gracie Hamida, Gracie Baja.
Yeah.
And then 10th Planet's killing it as well. Their MMA team's really popping off at 10th Planet.
Oh yeah.
As far as Austin goes, and maybe, I don't want to say Texas in general because I don't want to like disrespect any fighters, because I know like there's some UFC fighters out of Houston, there's some UFC fighters in Dallas, but definitely within the Austin area, 10th Planet's the best MMA school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're killing it. Andrew Craig's doing a great job with those guys. Yeah, he's a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had an MMA fight though.
Yeah, back
You
in
went
the day.
full MMA. That was wild.
How old was I? It's like 21. It was 2013.
2013. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like 20 years old.
Yeah, I
it
remember
was
you showing me that. That was crazy.
It was brutal.
I was telling Cade Foradori, the kid with the mullet that I train.
Yeah.
Because he said something. You came in and yelled like, "What's up, Savage?"
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you always do. And he said something. He's like, "Man, that scared me. I was about to fight somebody." And I was like, "He's got MMA training." He's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." He showed me his MMA fight. He's like, "How'd it go?" I was like, "It's like a very typical first MMA fight. Like
Yeah.
you guys are slugging."
Trying to knock each other out.
Yeah, you guys are trying to kill each other.
Yeah, I almost knocked him out, and then he almost knocked me out, and then it was just like going toe to toe for the last. It was a 3-round fight, 3 minutes amateur fight. It went the whole way. I lost a split decision, so we went to the end. But dude, it was so brutal. He like literally knocked me out standing up.
Yeah.
I like saw tunnel vision. I was out. The ref was about to step in, but I remember telling myself like, man, my whole family's here.
Yeah.
All my friends and coworkers are here. I was like, I cannot fall down. And so I ended up grabbing the guy, and they didn't stop the fight. I ended up taking him down, and ended up surviving
Yeah.
and finishing on top. I took him down a couple times at the end, but dude, it was the most brutal experience I ever had. I've experienced everything in that fight to know like that's not what I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I want it done.
I almost got submitted. I almost submitted him. I almost knocked him out. He almost knocked me out.
Yeah, true roller coaster.
We went the full 3 rounds, and it was brutal.
Yeah. Watching the video again, it's one of those things like reminded me of like Clay Guida and like Diego Sanchez or something. You guys are just trying to rip each other's heads off.
Yeah, it was
You had
brutal.
Aubrey in your corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so wild.
That was awesome.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot
Yeah.
who it was. There was a UFC fighter recently that had Elon Musk, or not Elon Musk,
Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Zuckerberg in his
Yeah.
corner.
Who was that? I
Yeah,
forgot. That was
I
cool.
forgot. I know Tony Ferguson had Goggins in his corner for his last fight,
Oh yeah.
which was wild. Goggins would like hear Sean Strickland yell something from the crowd and then just like yell the same thing. Like there's videos of it. It's so funny. Yeah, that's a good fight though.
Nah, but yeah, after that fight, I remember my jaw was clicking for like 6 months, and I was just
Oh God.
I think I'm good. And that's when I decided, you know what, I think I just want to go all in with this coaching stuff. And I started shooting content, posting up cool like kettlebell videos, and that kind of started popping off.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, I can like make a difference and help people without having to get punched in the face. So I was like, you know what, I think I'd rather do this.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough, man. Like I've had two Muay Thai fights. I wanted to transition to MMA. After my last Muay Thai fight, uh, I had a fight promoter back in Albuquerque. Her name's Heather. She reached out to me seeing if I wanted to do an MMA fight. She's like, "Hey, we got a card coming up in January. I think January, February, something like that." She's like, "You want to get on it?" And I was like, I really wanted to do MMA, but my shoulders from baseball are ass. So like
Oh
grappling has
yeah,
always messed me up.
yeah,
So I told her, I was like, all right, give me 8 months to train like my takedown defense and like get up defense, and hit me up for your summer card. And that was January of 2020.
oh wow.
And so the summer card never came around, and
Yeah,
obviously all the gyms and everything closed down. So and then lost steam after
yeah,
that
yeah.
and never had the fight. But getting punched in the face, it's good to get punched in the face to know it's not going to kill you. Like
Mhm.
you can survive that.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer that I think everybody should get punched in the face.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It wasn't until I started training martial arts, doing jujitsu, and getting beat up by everybody that it humbled me. You know, like I remember I started working out. I played like football in middle school, and it was fun, but I ended up hurting my back.
Mm.
I think I pinched a nerve, went to chiropractor for like 6 months, recovered, and after that, I was like, man, I don't really like football. I was working out a lot in the gym, and I
Hmm.
loved, bodybuilding, looking and like I was strong, and I realized, you know what, like I think ultimately I got into fitness and got into football because I wanted to try to make friends and do what
Yeah,
everybody else is
social.
doing. Yeah, be
Yeah.
social thing. But ultimately, I worked out before I got into football and got in like decent shape to where I was like look good. For being 13 years old, I was pretty jacked. They used to call me roids in middle school. Everybody said I was juicing.
Like I can't afford steroids.
Yeah, exactly. And but ultimately, I wanted to try to get a girlfriend. And
Ah,
I was a chubby kid growing up. I was like, I
tale
need
as
to
old
start
as
working
time.
out. I need to start working out. My sister and my brother used to tease me all the time, like, you're so fat, you're never gonna have a
No
girlfriend. Yeah,
way.
dude, they were so mean.
I gotta see some kid pictures of you.
And so that's why I started working out initially, but then that didn't help. I was still not able to get a girlfriend, even though I was in better shape.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe if I try to be a UFC fighter, those guys are awesome. I really look up to them. And so I started training martial arts. And I realized quickly, like, damn, that's not what it's all about. Like looking good, being strong, it has no effect. Not as much as effect with if you don't have the technique to back it up. So I got beat up by everybody when I started out.
Oh
Like
yeah.
most people.
Super
Got
humbling.
humbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I ended up realizing, like, man, like, you know, you have to really go in there and leave your ego at the door and, take it slow, and you learn a lot. And ultimately, what I gained from, being able to go to those places, training martial arts, surrounding myself with people who beat each other up on a daily basis. It's just building that camaraderie,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I think that's one thing I really that kind of like brought me to MMA as well was and it's what we like what you're saying with like playing mid school football, and like what I really missed the most from college baseball. Like any pro athlete I've worked with that played on teams, they're always like when they retire, they're like, I miss the locker rooms. I miss
yeah,
I miss the boys. Like I would have done it for the boys. I would have played again for the guys. Like because that's this brotherhood. Like when you're in those teams, and then honestly, I think it's probably even more so in MMA because it is so intimate where you are grappling, you are hitting each
yeah,
other, but you're trusting each other. Like
yeah,
we might spar, I might kick you in the face, you might kick me in the face, and then we're gonna go grab lunch after. Like
yeah,
that, you don't do that in football. You don't do that. You might tackle each other for
yeah,
sure, but like in MMA, I think the brotherhood's a little tighter.
absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what everybody talks about. Is like I miss the culture. Like I
Yeah.
miss the
I
boys. I
think
miss the
that's
locker
kind of
room.
what we try to replicate in the gym, especially at Onnit. Try to have awesome community where we go in there, we train hard together, especially if you're doing like a small group class or a class where you're surrounded with other people and not just training on your own. Is where you do some hard thing together. You kind of, I saw somebody post, a friend of mine, he posted a story of him at the gym doing a class, and he's like, "Man, that class was so hard." It's like, but I think it brought us all together. I think they call it, what is it called? Something like, trauma,
Yeah, yeah. You survived
shared
together.
trauma,
Shared trauma.
shared trauma.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, I feel like when you do something hard with somebody else, you kind of develop more trust that, like, man, this person can get through hard stuff together, and you can kind of like let your walls down a little bit,
Yeah.
instead of somebody you don't really know if, like, oh, if like shit hits the fan, are
Hmm.
they gonna have my back? Are they gonna be able to stand back up?
Yeah.
And so I feel like for me, that's why when I meet somebody new who wants to hang out, I always invite them to the gym. Like, hey, let's get a workout in, and then kind of put each other through some hard stuff
Yeah.
together, and then after that, go grab lunch.
Yeah. I
But
think
that's
that.
that's something that I also been like having to kind of work on too. It's like, oh man, I always invite people to come to my comfort place. What's hard for me, and honestly, where I feel comfortable, but also I can still kind of challenging.
Hmm.
But nowadays, I'm trying to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone and say yes to things outside of the gym and go hang out with guys on a different level.
Yeah.
That way I can challenge myself and also meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Make yourself vulnerable. Because
yeah.
that's what, like, you say you go to a buddy's gym, and that buddy has a reputation there, as you do
Oh
at
yeah,
Onnit. Like, oh, everyone knows Primal Swoldier at Onnit, and you just invited a friend to come work out with you. It's like, I'm either gonna like kill it, or I'm gonna get exposed.
yeah,
And it's a very vulnerable thing to
yeah,
feel. So, like, yeah, to put yourself outside of your comfort zone, because it is comforting. Like, yeah, and also Onnit has a community that is second to none. Like, everyone that I've ever brought on this podcast that I've talked to about Onnit, they're like, man, the community, like, because so many people hang out outside the gym. So many people are communicating, hey, what class are you going to? I'll meet you there.
yeah.
Like, let's go do Sonic cold plunge. Like, the
Hmm.
community is wild. I've never seen anything like it, and it's amazing. It's such a beautiful thing to see. So it is your comfort zone. So yeah, it is, like, it probably is intimidating when you like invite buddies to go train with you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be. So I always admire that people come out and do that. Like, I had a friend come out yesterday for the first time. He's a like big jack dude, super great shape, but obviously, he probably hasn't been exposed to the type of workouts that we do at On It, and he jumped into our coach's workout and he fucking smashed it. I
Oh,
was all
nice.
like, give him props for that, because even me and my brother, we kind of slacked off a little bit because we had done half the workout the day before with
Yeah.
our other friends. And so we're like, oh, we're gonna skip out on this part of the workout and have the rest of the coaches do it. And we'll just kind of monitor and kind of help people out, shoot some videos for
Nice.
people, get some content. And like, I was just like, man, like, this is a hard workout. And he pushed all the
Yeah.
way through it, and he was super grateful for the experience. And it was just cool to see people who come in, and even though like they're, probably an expert at what they do, they're able to, like you said, be vulnerable and try something new
Yeah.
and, kick ass.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't kick ass, but you're humbled and you learn, like, man, have something to work on.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It is
Everything's
good,
a
man.
learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I first started it on it, those type of workouts, like, were not my wheelhouse. Like, the I don't want to throw a label on it and saying like hit workouts, but the high intensity workouts.
Yeah.
Um, but I came in there and I was like, I had to build a name. Like, I had to come in and like show who I was. So I was coming up from New Braunfels, which is like 45 minutes south.
Oh yeah.
I come up Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the coaches workouts, and then I'd come up Tuesday and Thursday and do like cardio stuff with like Josh Stiffens and Taylor and like a couple other guys over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I'd come up on Tuesdays and Thursdays as
Yeah.
well and hit those workouts because I was like, fuck, man, I don't like these, but I have to go through them to kind of like earn your stripes, to say, like,
Yeah.
show that you belong with the coaches, and
Yeah.
also show that you can coach, because Juan does a really good job of that, of like letting other coaches coach segments of the workout. All right, Nick, how would you break this
Yeah.
down? Or Eric, how would you break this down? And I think that's really cool because, again, everybody has something so valuable to bring to the table, that it just strengthens the team even more so.
Absolutely.
And Juan does
Everybody
a great
learns
job of
something
that.
from each other too.
Yeah.
That's the great part. That's what I used to love about when I used to teach certifications and workshops. It was like I was able to be in front of all these experts. It was usually a bunch of other coaches who had
Yeah.
had years of experience, maybe even way more experience than I had. I was still a young coach back then, but being able to be in the same room with people from all different types of expertise in fitness, coming together, learning together, and we used to let them have the floor. They would ask questions or give their piece of advice on what their perspective is on a
Hmm.
certain movement. So even though I was leading the certification, or I was like the assistant coach there teaching the techniques and the skills, um, I still learn something from the
Mhm.
other coaches, and so that's one big thing that one of the big pillars that we always had on it was, you know, like search for truth
Yeah.
and
That's always my favorite one, the
yeah, and
search for truth.
unity and diversity. That was
Yeah.
the one that I was kind of really trying to think about. Is like unity and diversity means like, you know, we kind of ask you to empty your cup at the beginning of the cert and be open to taking in new information, even
Yeah.
though you might already have, you're an expert in your field. Show up with, the mindset of like being a student and wanting to
Yeah.
learn, and so you're able to learn from each other, and also when the time comes, share your opinion.
Mhm.
And me as a coach, I come in with that same mentality, like wanting to learn from them too.
That's wise, yeah.
Yeah, and being open to learning something new because, like I said, I'm still a young coach, even though I'm really good at the kettlebells.
Mhm.
They might have something that's a little bit more out of my expertise, and I can learn from them and add that to my toolbox.
Yeah.
So that's the what I really loved about On It. When we had our certs and our workshops, was that we didn't have a dogmatic approach to training and teaching. We didn't think like, oh, our system is the only system. Yeah, we were always like, yeah, this is what works for us in our experience. Where we're totally open to learning
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, when I first came for the certs, I've came from out of town to do foundations and durability. Um, First one with the foundations was Shane, John, and Sam Pogue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Sam Poke.
Sam Pogue. Yeah, shout out Sam Pogue.
Hmm.
But it is, you have to be as a coach, like, and it kind of goes back to the MMA thing. Like, you kind of have to check your ego.
Yeah.
Because like I could have came in and at the first certification, I was at a point where I was definitely like a sponge. Like I wanted to learn. Because I had just started at Performance Ranch in Albuquerque, and I was like, all right, cool. Like this is a kind of an Onnit affiliated gym because Cowboy Cerrone owned it.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to come out here and like really like absorb what they're teaching because a lot of Onnit stuff is unconventional. Like a lot of Onnit stuff that you see, like you might see training a one-on-one professional athlete, but you won't see it like in a collegiate weight room because that's like a lot of Olympic lifting type stuff. A lot of like your big three, your squat, deadlift, bench stuff, which is great. And there's definitely a need to have that base. But once you start getting into like kettlebells, steel maces, steel clubs, heavy ropes, like and even like the hydrocore bags. I was part of the filming crew for the hydrocore videos.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is tough.
Yeah.
And
It's
so I was like,
challenging.
yeah.
It's
So
different.
they gave me one to like keep, and I was like, hell
Yeah.
yeah. So I still have it. Like I'll use it from
That's
time to
dope.
time.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. But yeah, man, Onnit has always been such like a light in the industry that like people have like flocked to, and I think it brings curious people because they want to see what are they doing over there, like what is this unconventional training that they're doing, why is Primal Swoldier so jacked, like, you know what I'm saying, why are Juan's quads so big, like
Yeah.
what are they doing? Yeah, but it's
For real, they're huge.
yeah,
They
dude,
have their own area code.
it's absurd. Gotta get his shorts custom made.
Oh
But
yeah,
man,
that's true, man. We attract a lot of unique people.
yeah,
There's always people swinging maces or, flipping or, throwing 200-pound bags around or doing some type of, animal full body weight movement.
yeah,
You look in every corner, there's something else going on. And that's why I said we really welcome people from all walks of life to come do their thing,
yeah,
have fun. As long as you're not hurting anybody,
yeah,
do your thing. Especially as a coach, we welcome coaches with all different perspectives to come coach with us as long as, like you said, they earn their stripes.
yeah,
They do the coaches workouts, they learn the system and, incorporate what they find useful and just kind of know, like okay, this is what we stand for, but we welcome
yeah,
your perspective as well. But yeah, man, I love On It, love the community.
yeah, it's so
And
diverse,
yeah, I'm excited for it to keep growing.
dude, it's
And
blowing up.
yeah, it's huge. We're like,
Yeah, it's growing so
yeah,
fast, like
yeah,
wildfire.
the gym is so full right now.
Yeah,
I love it. Some people might be like, "Oh man, there's not enough room to train here at certain times." But for me, it's like, man, make it work.
the
It's
energy.
worth it.
Yeah,
You
yeah, the
know?
vibe, the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot because when I first started, it was still like a private gym, like it was only for group classes or private training,
Yeah.
and we had what like 150 or 200 members.
Yeah,
at
we
that
have like
time.
200 members. I think now we're close to 800.
Yeah, dude, and it's again,
Crazy.
it is wild, and I have had those moments of like, where am I going to work out in here? And then
Yeah.
it's like, no, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, vibe off that energy and find a spot to lift.
Yeah, make it work. Adjust your workout. It doesn't. You don't train for a perfect world. You don't have to stick to your program all the time. You can switch it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and to speak to that, I always tell my clients because I'll program stuff out, but they'll come up and be like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this today or whatever. I'm like, always listen to your body more than you listen to the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because the program, I will put things in as like a guide, and especially like if I
Yeah.
put like weights, sets, reps, whatever. But if you're coming in and you didn't sleep good and
Yep.
your low back hurts or whatever, I'm like, no, listen to your body. Like we don't need to progress in the way that the program is designed to.
Exactly. You know,
Um,
our training, our programs, our training, you know, it's supposed to be like a healthy stress or like a good stress that puts our body, you know, stresses our body that we can then recover from
mhm.
and make some progress from. But if you're already dealing with all this outside stress, maybe adding that workout on top of that is just going to be detrimental to making any progress. So that's why I tell my clients to like, hey man, like you said, if you're not feeling it today or you're a little overwhelmed, you know, just do a little bit, you know, not stick to exactly what was prescribed, but maybe just get some movement in,
Mhm.
get some blood moving just to kind of keep things working. But don't smash yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, it's only gonna make things worse.
Right. Yeah. Especially if you, like you said, you aggravate something. But
Yeah.
that kind of talking about like coming in and getting like some movement in. When I did the durability cert, it was like my first kind of. I had done like some yoga and stuff in the past, and I always described durability as like athletic yoga.
Yeah.
And dude, that was my favorite one. That
Oh
was my
yeah.
favorite cert to do. Like
Yep.
I had so much fun with that, and it's something that I incorporate a lot with like the MMA fighters, especially when we were training in Albuquerque. We were pretty big with the fighters out of Jackson Wink, and Wednesday was their big wrestling day, but their strength and conditioning was programmed for Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hmm.
And so Wednesday, that's exactly what we do. We just have them come in and do durability stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
man.
again, it was a
I
heavy
believe
wrestling
it.
day. You don't need to come lift a shit ton of weights when you've had some heavy
Yeah.
rounds of wrestling.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was our part of our plan. And I had Michael Paulsner, who I'll be having on the show soon,
Yeah.
um, put my MMA fighters through an animal flow thing. Dude, it
No.
was
Yeah.
so sick.
I'm sure it was fun.
I loved it. Yeah, I partook in it as
Yeah.
well. And it's one of those things I talked to him. I was like, dude, we got to do this more often. Like, I'd love to do it at least once a month. Ideally, in a perfect world where like you take some finances out of it, like I would be doing it once a week with the fighters for the same reason that we did with Jackson's. Like, it's
Mhm.
just a great active recovery workout that really like opens things up. And
Absolutely. Every time I do animal flow, I'm like, man, I need to do this more. I used to do it a lot back in the day when I was doing a lot of kettlebells. You know, early on when I first got exposed to animal flow back in like I think it was like 2016. I used to do it all the time, and you know, I was able to be in really good shape. But in recent years, I started doing more heavy lifting and trying to get bigger and put on more muscle, and it kind of fell out of my routine. But now that I'm incorporating a little bit more kettlebells and animal flow back into my routine, it's like, man, every time I do animal flow, I'm like, man, this feels so good for my
yeah,
body. Moving in these different ranges just feels so good. So yeah, I definitely need to start doing it more. So much fun. And yeah, I definitely believe it, man, that people like really like that you really enjoy the durability more than anything
hmm
because when we used to teach the foundation starts as well, the biggest takeaway that most people would say was like, man, that mobility section at the beginning, oh, that I'm gonna take that with me
yeah,
forever. I remember I used to sell my kettlebell course online. I had a big mobility section in there as well. That was the number one thing that people loved. Or even on
oh,
my
nice,
online programs, I had mobility at the beginning of every workout and cool downs. And everybody would always say, man, I've taken a lot of online programs or done a lot of different certs, and nobody ever focuses on a nice warm or good warm up and
yeah,
cool down, and that has changed the game for my training. Thank you so
yeah,
much. And yeah, man, I think that's what we really pride ourselves on it is that we make sure to show people a solid warm up and good cool down so that they can prepare their bodies for the hard work and also initiate that recovery process
yeah,
after the workout so that they don't leave the gym too hyped up. You know, there's time and place where like, oh man, like I want to leave the gym ready to go slap boxing and hyped
yeah,
up. Like I
yeah,
feel good after that type of workout. But when I do like a really intense workout, like a heavy lifting day,
yeah,
and I put a lot of tension on the body, I make sure I do some type of cool down stretches to kind of ease some of that tension and
yeah.
start that recovery process as I go off into the rest of my day. But yeah, man, the durability and the foundation certs, which had a lot of mobility as well and durability,
hmm
those were like our certs that would always sell out.
Yeah, bread and butter.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's something that I hear all the time from
yeah,
people that are coming from like out of town and they take their first Onnit class. Like, oh, you guys do a really good job of focusing on the warm up and the cool
hmm,
down. I was like, yeah, that is something that we like emphasize. Like, it's
yeah,
super important.
yeah,
And again, that's all coming from like Shane and John Wolf and everyone that's like been building on it. We have this great collection of minds that really started on it. and it's led to what we are today. And even at Performance Ranch in Albuquerque, our entire warm up was from the durability cert. It
Yeah.
was all mobility stuff. It's moving. It's active, dynamic warm up. So it's all good stuff, and it's something I carried on. So that was such an easy transition for me. Like when I had to start covering classes when I first started, I was like, oh, I already know all the warm up stuff.
Yeah.
This is great.
Dope.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good time.
Mhm.
How'd you get started on it?
I used to work in the warehouse.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got a job. I dropped out of school. I went to UT for like a semester. I remember working really hard in high school to try to get really good grades to get into UT. And when I got to school, as soon as I spent like most of my high school not going to any parties, I was sober, didn't drink, and I was like super focused on school. I used to be in art class. Like I was spent like 3 hours in the art class,
Damn.
hanging out with the art nerds, just fucking drawing and painting all day, and just didn't really have a social life,
Yeah.
and just focus on getting good grades. So that when I went to college, man, I actually started partying or like drinking for the first time and smoking weed,
Yeah.
and I kind of went off the deep end. I mean, not too bad, just like
Yeah. Obviously
didn't
not too
focus
bad.
on school. And I just couldn't make friends in college either. And I became really good friends with my brother's friends, who was like an older crowd, and became friends with Roger Huerta, this
Oh yeah.
former UFC fighter back in the day. And I told him, like, man, I don't want to keep going to school. I think I'm going to drop out. He said, well, just come with me to Minnesota and come train for this fight that I got coming up. So I left with him for a few months to Minnesota, and I was training with a bunch of like former really bad, like Sean Shirk and
Yeah.
Rose Namajunas was actually up there. Pat Barry, I got to train with them.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was the Academy is what it was called. So I got to train up there with a bunch of badasses, and dropped out of school. I followed Roger to his fight, and after that fight, he went off to Thailand. So I just kind of like didn't know what to do after that, and I was, you know what? I'm friends with Aubrey. He's starting Onnit. Maybe I could get a job there. And I talked to Aubrey about it, and he's like, "Yeah, man, there's room for you in the warehouse." And so I started working in the warehouse, and I was, even though it wasn't like a high paying job or anything, it was more than nothing.
Yeah, it was a job.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
job. Got my feet back under me, and also I was comfortable doing that also because it was such an awesome community.
Yeah.
I was surrounded by all my friends, literally everybody that worked out on it at that time. We were all friends, so we'd all party and go out together, and everybody was super open minded. We were all like on the same wavelength. We all listened to the Joe Rogan podcast,
Yeah.
and that's when Joe Rogan got involved, and we started selling Alpha Brain. And so I was like, this place is awesome. I get to swing kettlebells, in between, working, and get to hang out with a bunch of cool people who are all into the same stuff. And then we all get to hang out together. And I stuck it out for a couple years there in the warehouse. Obviously, I was having a good time.
Yeah.
After a couple years, the space next door to our warehouse became open for lease. And my brother had also been training a lot of his clients out of the company gym. That after a certain period of time, Aubrey was like, man, like I love the vibe of having people coming through here, being able to work out with people throughout the day, and having this energy here. And also, like, we need a space where we can teach people how to use the tools that we sell, from the kettlebells to the battle ropes, the
Oh,
maces, and the
nice.
clubs.
That's smart.
We should get that space next door and open a gym. And so he asked my brother, myself, and Sean, one of our other friends, former
Clemens?
employees, yeah, Sean
Yeah,
Clemens,
nice.
yeah, to be some of the first coaches. So I
That's
remember
sick.
Aubrey actually, like 6 months before we opened the gym, he hired Ken Blackburn, this IKFF,
I was gonna say that sounds super
yeah,
familiar.
IKFF, International Kettlebell Federation, I think I forgot what it's called,
Yeah.
but they certified it. He came, we did a private certification with
Oh,
him,
sick.
got certified in kettlebell, like kind of the kettlebell sport style of training. But that was the first time I got my kettlebell cert. And after 6 months after that, the gym opened, and the rest is history. Started
Yeah.
training people. Mhm. I
Then
remember
blew up
before
from there.
that, for the 6 months before that, I was both working in the warehouse and teaching classes. Both in the morning, I would go drive to this kickboxing gym, Austin Kickboxing Academy.
Yeah. Okay.
We had some kettlebells there, some battle ropes, and I would go 7 a.m., teach a class there, and then go back to the warehouse, and then go back to the gym at 7 p.m., teach a class,
Oh,
just to get
shit.
my reps in, and also
Yeah.
try to get word out that, oh, Onnit's about to open a gym, and try to get some
Traffic.
yeah, some traffic and get the word out. So did that for 6 months, and then we handed that off to another coach to do that there, and I moved into the new gym. I
That's
started
sick.
coaching people. But yeah,
What?
man, I learned a lot really fast. You know, I went from pretty much zero experience. I got did done my own training.
Yeah,
You know, obviously for like what 6, 7 years, but then learned a lot real quick on training clients. I was training my family members for free,
yeah,
friends that would come into the gym before we opened, and I would teach free sessions and got a lot of experience really fast. And
yeah,
then once we opened the gym, I was teaching classes pretty much all day. But also the one of the biggest, most growing things that we had was the opportunity to have certifications. I remember John and Shane, the heads of the department at that time, they were forcing us to take certs like every month
yeah,
or like every weekend. It felt like for the first 2 years that Onnit gym was open, but we had access to the top coaches in the industry, from
yeah,
physical therapists, like Dr. Andrea Spina from FRC, or Dr. John Russin from Pain Free Certification,
yeah,
and to Animal Flow with Mike Fitch. We had the best coaches teaching the best, late state of the art new certifications in the industry. So I learned a lot really fast in the first couple years. And after a few years, I started messing around with the kettlebells a lot and was able to like develop my own style of kettlebell training. It was just like me combining different movements, doing kettlebell flows, what I called it back in the day.
yeah,
And then it kind of just took off. People loved the dynamic style, different way of moving with kettlebells. And yeah, after that, I kind of just steamrolled after Joe Rogan gave me a shout out on his Instagram.
oh, nice.
Yeah, he reposted one of my videos on his page, and I remember I went from like 6,000 followers, like 15,000 followers over the weekend. I remember
Oh,
I
shit.
was on my way to a jiu-jitsu tournament, and my phone was blowing up on the ride. And then Aubrey gives me a call, or he sends me a text, like, "Hey, is your Instagram blowing up?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is actually." And I checked. He's like, "Yeah, Joe Rogan just gave you a shout out, man." And it's like, dude, the power of Joe Rogan is insane.
It's wild.
Yeah, so I'm super grateful for that because that kickstarted my presence in the industry. And after that, I just kind of went with it. I
Yeah,
kind of made kettlebells my identity, and I loved them. Obviously, I
yeah,
still do. But after a while, that became like my brand, and so I like opened a website, started an app, and after a while, you get tired of doing the same shit,
yeah,
and so right now, I'm focused more on incorporating, everything.
yeah,
I've been doing that for a while, but now I am actually showing other people how to do that as well and adding that to my training, especially now that I'm getting ready to do high rocks, which is like more
yeah.
hybrid style training.
Is this your first one?
No, it's gonna be my fourth one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
Okay.
now I'm gonna take it a little bit more seriously, training a little bit more seriously, training a little bit more. Like before, I was training like once a day, every day, but now I'm gonna try to do 2 a days.
Yeah,
Different intensities. I'll probably do lifting 3 days a week, cardio every days, but only like maybe 2 intense cardio days.
mhm,
The other days like zone 2 work or lower intensity cardio, just to work on my aerobic capacity or
yeah,
my base conditioning.
yeah,
For those that are not familiar with that, just to make sure I'm ready, because I was fortunate enough to travel in the last couple months with some other Adidas athletes who are CrossFit athletes. So there's like that's their life,
yeah.
and like listening to the way they train to win, and it's like they're training. I mean, I talked to one. She said she trains. She's in the gym for 8 hours a day.
Oh,
She's not
shit.
training the whole time, but
Yeah,
she lives at the gym and trains hard 2 or 3 times a day.
yeah,
Maybe not like full hour sessions, but like 20-minute metcon here, but an hour lifting session here. But like they're training all day, and it's like it's their job,
yeah,
So now I'm like, I want to make it my job in addition to being a coach, but more so leaning more into competing a little bit more nowadays. So I'm excited to take it a little bit more seriously and compete to win instead of just having fun.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm,
yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's what I got coming up.
That's sick, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
you've been traveling all over the world.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where's like the most fun place you've been?
I mean, um, Switzerland. Yeah, that
Switzerland?
was a couple years ago. My brother and I.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember you and Juan took that trip.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, the pics looked wild. It's like fake. The mountain
yeah,
ranges and stuff
man.
you posted.
It was like a one like Disney World, Disneyland. Like it was like some shit out of a movie. You know,
Yeah,
like some stuff you would see on a postcard. Like it was. We went during summer,
yeah.
so it was like everything was green. All the lakes were clear and but still cold.
Mm.
We were like climbing mountains, going and seeing waterfalls. We would break a sweat climbing these mountains and hiking, and then we would come back down and jump in the cold water for like a
Oh,
cold plunge. It was so refreshing.
I bet.
Food was so fresh. That's where I wanna go back. I haven't been back since, but
Yeah.
that's where I really wanna go back and spend some more time.
Now, do I remember right? I don't know. Was it there that you guys like did some arm wrestling, like with some locals or
No,
something?
that I think that was in France.
Oh, that was in France. Okay, I remember hearing a
Yeah.
story about you guys getting into some arm
Yeah, we
wrestling
went out
matches.
drinking and like some Russian guys, and my brother started getting into it because they noticed how big my brother was. He's
Yeah.
muscular, and they're like challenging him to arm wrestling. And then he was a little too drunk, so they were beating him. He's like, Eric, he's shouting across the bar, Eric, you gotta come help. You gotta, beat this guy. And then so it was me versus this Russian dude, and I ended up whooping his ass.
Oh,
And
just
but
like
then,
Rocky Four.
yeah, and then we ended up becoming all friends and having a good time the rest of the night.
That's
Like you said,
awesome.
building camaraderie through
Yeah.
doing challenging each other.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that you hear or like you see in movies where like people go to different countries and just like bond over that.
Yeah.
You guys probably barely were able to communicate,
Yeah.
but could still do that. That's sick.
Almost getting into a fight together, but then, having a friendly competition.
Yeah, and then having drinks together.
Yeah, exactly. That,
Yeah.
that was a good time.
The way it should be.
But yeah, Switzerland, that's probably the best place I've been to. Fun for sure. I mean, for me, fun is, in addition to being in the gym, going outdoors, being in nature, going hiking,
Yeah.
seeing some dope ass view that you earn by, climbing up, a really hard hike. For me, that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, going to those like places where you have a view that like some people either can't or won't go up to because like I said you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't done like a lot of like jet setting like that, but there were like sometimes in Albuquerque there's a place called U Mound at the foothills that you could like climb up to the top of this rock and there's room for like maybe 2 or 3 people at the top of it, but you could see all of
Yeah.
Albuquerque. And it's one of those things where I was like, man, I every time I'd go there, I'd love to hike that and go up there and I'd just sit and just enjoy the view or
Mhm.
like think about what is ever like affecting me in my life at that time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude, that kind of stuff. And again, being able to do that worldwide, that's the kind of stuff that like I really look forward to doing. Is like, yeah, I want to go to Switzerland and climb mountains.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to
man.
go through like jungle. I got to go horseback riding through jungles in Colombia. Like that was
Oh, dope.
badass.
That's I've never been to Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. Oh yeah, for some reason I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking because I know John Wolf went to Medellin for
That's right.
BioAccelerator, and for some reason I thought you did too. I don't know
No, I've
why.
been to like Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, but never to Colombia.
Yeah, you got to make the trip, man.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful things to see there.
Yeah, I heard the mountains are big there too.
Yeah, so part of the Andes Mountains
Oh.
runs through Colombia. So
Oh, yeah.
Bogota, the capital where I went, that's where my family's from. It's like 9,000 feet elevation.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, so it's like right on the equator, but with the elevation, since it's on the equator, like they don't get snow. Like it's kind of like San Francisco climate, like
Oh,
cold,
wow.
rainy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that kind of climate. But man, it's so green. It's so beautiful.
That's
The
awesome.
mountains are insane. I highly recommend it.
Have you been recently?
I'm actually going at the end of April.
Oh,
I
wow.
haven't been in a few years, but I'm going at the end of
Oh,
April.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's my grandma passed away last year at the age of 97, the ripe old age of 97. She was a soldier for sure. She was
Yeah.
killing it. But she passed away and I haven't been back since. And my cousin hit me up. She's like, yeah, you guys got to come out soon. I was like, say less, just tell me the weekend. So I think we're planning the end of
That's
April.
awesome, man. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And I'm going to try to see more of the country because I've only been to Bogota, but I think we're going to go probably spend 5 days there and then maybe 2 days in Barranquilla and 3 days in Cartagena.
Wow.
Like, I want to make like a 10-day trip out of it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Where's next for you?
For me, no plans yet. I mean, I just want to go to Miami for a High Rocks and New York for a High Rocks. I'll be staying in the States, but hopefully maybe I'll be able to go to Europe this summer. It'll be 3 years this summer, and I want to go visit Adidas again.
Mm.
And because Adidas is in Germany, they're also in Amsterdam, but their big headquarters is close to Nuremberg in Germany.
Okay.
And so I'm excited to go back there. That was like kind of one of the reasons we went the first time a couple years ago to go visit the headquarters. I was able to actually launch this line that I'm wearing right now. I did a collaboration with Adidas.
yeah.
I helped them design these pants, this camo colored shirt, and I went over there to have a meeting with the design team. I took my brother with me, and we met with them. And so it was kind of work, business, and pleasure when we went to Europe. We spent like 6 weeks out there.
Yeah.
It was a long time to be traveling. We probably wouldn't do that again. I think 2 weeks now, like nowadays, is good for me.
Yeah.
We thought like, oh, we're gonna be here. Let's make the most of it. We were there for far too long.
Far too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
Want my bed.
Especially when you're like trying to travel on a budget and like taking trains and
Yeah.
you're fucking trying to make the train or hop on another flight. Dude, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I lost like 2 bags. They would lose my luggage going to
Oh.
Amsterdam. I lost my luggage, and also going to I think France. I also lost my luggage. Got
Yeah.
it back, but dude, it was annoying.
Yeah, it's
Next
tough with that
time,
much.
travel light. One
Yeah.
bag, one carry on. No more checking bags. That's when I learned I'm not gonna check my bags anymore.
Yeah.
So now I travel light, and if I need something, if I need to, I'll go buy it. But
Yeah.
I'm traveling with a carry on. My brother still checks his bag, but I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I can't do that.
I
Saves time and probably you won't lose your stuff.
Right, yeah. That's I always worry like when I travel for golf because I have to check
Oh
my golf
yeah.
bag, my golf clubs, and man, like you see some like horror stories like clubs getting fucked up, like getting burned up on the runway and stuff. It's like, oh god. But yeah, that's funny you say that because when I went, Colombia is the only international flight I've taken so far, and the one time I went, I lost my bag. Well,
Yeah.
it came like 3 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it probably sounded great at the time to go for 6 weeks, and then after that, yeah, you're probably exhausted.
Yeah, dude. Running around. I think next time I'll go for 2 weeks. Pick one or two places to go to, not try to see the whole other side of the world.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I got to see a lot.
Yeah.
So
I remember when you guys
cool.
went.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't know Adidas was a European company before that.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I thought, I just assumed like everything else was like made in China or something.
It's Adidas. The guy who
Adidas.
started it is this German guy. Him and his brother, they had a shoe company together. Adi, his name is Adolf Dassler. So it's pronounced Adidas. His nickname was Adi. Yeah, but
So
these two brothers started the company together, the shoe company, and then they had a falling out. And then the brother, he went off literally across the street and started another company called Puma. I don't know if you might have heard of it.
Yeah, you might have heard of it, Puma.
But yeah, so Puma.
I didn't know Puma was German.
Adidas were two brothers.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so actually both Adidas and Pumas pretty much employ the whole town of, I think it's Herzo.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, because those got to be two massive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're two massive brands.
Yeah.
So I bet
you'll see a lot of crossover too. Like, oh, this guy used to work at Puma, now he works at Adidas. It's funny.
Wild.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Yeah, both of them are getting pretty big in golf. Yeah. Puma and I'll say Adidas.
Yeah,
But,
Adidas. Adidas.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. I had no idea. That's a cool story.
Yeah, I mean, either when I went out there, they gave me the full story. Dude, it was so cool. I got to show up to the headquarters. I was not expecting this at all. Me and my brother walk in, and they have like this 100-foot screen with like these cool images of people playing sports, and then it says, Adidas welcomes Eric Leija. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool.
That's sick.
I wasn't expecting that, and they showed me around, and I got to see the archive.
Dude, what a cool building.
Yeah,
it looks sick from the pictures you guys are taking.
Super sick.
Yeah,
and they had to wear these like special gloves to touch these like old like memorabilia that they had in this place called the Archive. I got to see these old school Muhammad Ali boxing shoes that he wore to his last fight.
That's legendary.
Yeah, or this Rocky jacket this jacket from the Rocky movie that Sylvester Stallone wore in the movie.
That's badass.
A bunch of cool little old school stuff. So
yeah, I bet there's some amazing stuff in there.
Yeah, and I got to teach a class. My brother and I, we partnered up and we put the employees through a dope little workout in their huge employee gym.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have a big gym.
Yeah, they have a huge gym, big old outdoor, Olympic size swimming pool, tennis courts, everything, dude. It was awesome.
That's sick, man. I mean they're in every sport, so like for them to have a tennis court and all that, like a swimming pool, it's like it makes sense. Yeah, and also you get to test out your product there.
Back then, it was like, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We're like, do you guys have a pickleball court? And they're like, ha, pickleball, what the hell is that?
That's
Look at it now, 2 years later.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest sport.
Dude, I just saw something the other day. Pro pickleball players make more than, I think on average, make more than WNBA players.
I was about to say UFC fighters.
No, well,
like,
shit, maybe that too. Yeah, maybe that too.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I saw this thing. It was interesting because it was Daniel Cormier. He was talking about how it's actually not wild for John Jones to be asking for $30 million for his next fight.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, you look at the gate. He's like, the gate of the Stipe fight was 16 mil. Then you add on top of like pay-per-views on top of that. They're like, it's not. He's like, it's not out of the world for John to be asking for 30 million. He's like, now ask for 30 million. You might land on 20. You might land on 15.
Yeah.
He's like, but like asking for 30 is like not a bizarre ask if you look at the numbers that the UFC is bringing in.
I hope they pay him, man, because I want to see that fight.
Dude, yeah, him and Tom Aspinall. Wild. Tom's a big boy.
Yeah,
I saw him fight in New York. I saw him fight Sergey Pavlovich in New York. He was the main event That was the fight that John was supposed to fight Stipe, but tore his pec.
Oh,
yeah,
I remember that. That
yeah,
was whack. That sucks.
yeah,
I
I
tore my
know.
pec once. A
Yeah.
partial tear. I was doing like heavy bench press. Heavy for me. It was like what 255 or something. No, 315.
Oh God.
It was 315, and I was doing like singles, and I was like I was into like my fucking 9th set
Ugh.
of singles or 1 or 2 reps.
Yeah.
And I was feeling strong. I was heavy as fuck. I was trying to put on a lot of size. I was like 220 pounds. And I was trying to show off to CJ McFarland, our strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, great coach.
Yeah. I was like, hey, man, can you come spot me? Because he's like super strong, holds a bunch of records in powerlifting.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
And
powerlifting.
then so he's like, yeah, I got you. And he comes and he's spotting me. And of all the people in the gym, you know, one of the best coaches is spotting me. I tear my fucking pec just because I was burnt out already. And I felt a pinch too in my shoulder. But I kept just pushing through it. And I remember on that last rep, dude, it just felt like a little shock. It wasn't even painful, just like a little shock. And I was like, oh shit, that's not good. And
Did you finish the rep or he got it?
No, he got it. And dude, that was the worst feeling ever.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Did you ever have surgery?
No, I never got surgery.
Yeah.
I was always like, no, I don't want to take that much time off. But at this point, it's pretty much, you know, it works. It's functional.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that great on camera and stuff, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm obviously not as strong as I used to be, and I've always been scared to do dynamic movements anymore. Just be safe with my shoulders. Like the last time I tried doing muscle ups like a year and a half ago on the rings, I tore my lat on this side, and then I was doing deadlifts. I tore this lat too. Like I was going through a bunch of injuries, man. And so I've been scared to do any dynamic moves, especially like muscle ups, in a while. And,
Yeah.
But recently, I did like my first muscle up. I was in Miami doing a photo shoot for Adidas, and I was there with a CrossFit athlete, Sydney Wells. She's like a pretty advanced CrossFit athlete. She's like professional, competitive.
Nice.
And I was trying to do her workout with her, and she's like, "We got muscle ups today." I'm like, "Fuck, I've never done a muscle up in years."
Yeah. Last time I did, I got hurt.
Yeah, last time I did it, though, I was 220 pounds. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it.
What are you at now? Like 180?
190.
190. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm 30 pounds lighter. I think I'm gonna try it. I think my shoulders can handle it this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was able to get it. I nailed my first muscle up in years. And
I didn't realize you were that heavy. I remember like hearing. I think Francesca actually told me when you tore your lat that she's like, "Oh, Eric just tore his lat or some shit."
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you were that heavy then.
Yeah, I was 220.
Wow.
Trying to do muscle ups.
That's like Juan's
Wouldn't
weight.
recommend it if you
Yeah.
if you haven't, you know, gotten used to the weight and like tried doing just basic kipping and, you know, getting, you know, familiar, just giving your tendons time to catch up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you got to build that tissue tolerance.
Yeah, you can definitely build muscle, gain weight a lot faster than your tendons can keep up.
Yeah.
You know, which is why you see a lot of injuries, especially people who are doing like steroids.
Yeah.
You know, like they get really swole really fast, and they usually they tear something.
Yeah.
You know, if they go too hard, too fast. So yeah, man, for me, it's been really focusing on, you know, getting strong, but making sure I'm still focusing on durability and being patient, you know, with the gains. If I'm gonna start doing dynamic stuff again, ease into it, make sure, you know, my joints can keep up.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. I'm feeling good.
Good. Yeah.
Especially like running too. I did my first 400-meter sprint. Like I've been super hesitant to do sprints too. Because the last time I did a sprint like a year ago, I was on the treadmill with Matt Choi.
Yeah.
And we did this. He's like, yeah, let's finish it out. Let's finish the video with a sprint for the, you know, just for the gram, for the shot. I was like, I don't know, man. Last time I did some shit like this, I tore my fucking hamstring. I pulled a muscle in my hamstring, and sure enough, overstrode, and I fucking pulled the hamstring. I was out for a couple weeks.
Damn.
And so, but in the last year, I've been building up my capacity and my conditioning with running. And so I did my first ever 400-meter sprint yesterday, and I did pretty well.
Nice.
Didn't pull anything. The only thing that felt
Nice.
shitty was my quads. They just fucking fatigued really hard, and I'm super sore today, but my hamstrings were fine. And, you know, it's just making sure I get in that accessory work too.
Yeah.
You know, doing hamstring curls, leg extensions, you know, bicep curls even, and tricep extensions. You know, a lot of people think, oh, that's all, you know,
Like,
you know, aesthetic work.
Yeah.
You know, it's just to look good. But nah, man, like it's very functional to be able to do single joint exercises. Single joint being things like curls, extensions.
Yeah, it's smart to incorporate that stuff.
Builds
for sure.
that joint strength, joint resilience, especially with bands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love using bands for pump work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you get a nice little pump when you use some bands.
Mhm.
That's what I've told people. I was like, once you, especially like guys that are in the industry, like you can travel with like just a band, like a long, thin or red band, like the ones we have at the gym.
Yeah.
And it's like you can keep a pretty good level of maintenance if you travel with just that band.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the benefits of using bands too is like there's constant tension in the band, unlike you might have like with dumbbells or
Hmm.
with a cable. There's constant tension, and it's also tension that's like increasing over time. So
Yeah,
for especially for like beginner clients, it helps them get comfortable with a lighter band that adds resistance as
yeah,
you go through the motion. It can help prep them to be able to start using heavier weights,
right.
instead of just jumping right into a heavy weight. I love the gradual loading of
Hmm.
using bands
Have you
as
ever
they get tighter or they become tighter, they become a little bit heavier.
right? Yeah, you get more resistance on
Hmm.
those end ranges.
Yeah.
Have you ever messed with a Kaiser machine? Like that, they're fueled by or they're powered by like air compressors. So they have constant
Oh
resistance.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they're badass. I've worked on some in Exos and Phoenix,
yeah. Those are dope.
and they had us do this thing because they have full like squat racks that are Kaiser,
Yeah.
and so they had us do RDLs with the Kaiser, like with the air compression
Hmm.
resistance, and then they took the clips off that were connected to the Kaiser, and then we just did it with the barbell. And dude, you're right. Yeah, like it was spot on. Like when you got to the top of the RDL without the Kaiser, there was this slight moment of like the inertia, like it felt like it was floating.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you did the Kaiser first and then no Kaiser and just the barbell, like it's like, oh shit, that's like floating. So the constant resistance of the Kaiser is, or like a band, or like people will add chains to things, like
Yeah.
it gets harder as you go. But the Kaisers are one of my favorites. Like I would love to have a lot of them, but they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, they're super pricey.
Yeah, but they're fun, man. They're great for fighters. They have like the ones with like the movable arms that are great
Yeah.
for rotation.
Dude, those are some like the Cybex machines back in the day. I think
Mm,
this was the brand. For like flies and rear
yeah,
delts.
yeah.
That was my favorite machine. I would use that every time I did upper body.
Yeah,
I
dude. The
miss
last
those.
time I need to start doing more sprints too. It's funny you said that because the last time I did like sprint work, not even sprint work, but the last time I sprinted, Allie Holcomb from LSKD, she invited me for like their Black Friday football game back
Oh
in
yeah.
November, and she's like, "What position do you want to play?" I was like, "Honestly, like I'd be down to play quarterback because I played a little bit of quarterback in high
Oh
school, and
yeah.
like yeah, and
Nice.
like whenever like post high school or post college, like when I played pickup games with buddies, I always play quarterback because like from baseball I had a good arm.
Yeah.
Um, and she's like, "Oh, that's perfect." She's like, "Because these are all like gym athletes, so nobody can like knows how to throw the ball." I'm like, "All right, perfect." And I took off running on one of the snaps because like I got rushed and and the field was wet and I was wearing like regular like Metcon flat training
Yeah.
shoes. And I take off
Slippery.
running, I'm sprinting, and I end up like slipping and busting my ass. But I remember for like the next day, like next day or two, I was like, "Fuck, my quads are sore
Yeah.
from sprinting." I was like,
Yeah.
"I need to do more sprint work."
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, the dynamic stuff of that, like, it's pretty important. Like as we continue to age, it's important to continue to train powerful movements because you'll retain a pretty good amount of strength as you age, but
Hmm.
you'll start to lose power pretty quick. So like training like med ball slams, kettlebell swings, sprints, like that kind of stuff as again
Hmm.
as we age, pretty important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Incorporating some type of jumping plyometrics into your
Yeah,
exercise.
plyos are huge.
Yeah. And like people get scared, like, oh man, I can't jump like that anymore. I'm just too old. I can't jump on a box. And it's like, man, you can just do fucking jumping jacks or like jumping rope.
Yeah,
That's still a good way to get some jumping in.
yeah, like entry level
Yeah.
plyometrics. Again, you're increasing the tissue tolerance, you're increasing tissue temperature to like prep for the movements you're going to be doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm big on plyometrics. In all of my clients, other than one that was recovering from an ankle issue, almost like a lifelong ankle issue, I wouldn't have him do plyometrics just because he had like truly limited
Yeah.
range of motion. But all of my like adult clients and fighters alike or whoever, like we start our workouts with a lot of plyometrics.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, yeah, and you want to like, from what I've been told, you want to like limit the amount of contacts, like the amount of jumps you have, because you have to find that sweet spot of like tissue tolerance versus like wearing on the tissue.
Yep.
Um, so I've always been a big fan of plyometrics, especially find the pattern you're going to lift that day. Say it's squats, okay, let's do box jumps. Say you're doing deadlifts, let's do broad jumps. Let's get a
Yeah.
little more hip extension through it. So yeah, I'm huge on plyometrics. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing, I mean, explosive movements in general. Like when I do like an upper body workout or I'm going to do some upper body movements in my day, I love doing like chest passes into the wall or into the floor, which is where you like grab like the med ball and you
Mhm.
shove it into the floor, or like plyo push-ups or on a bench or on the
Yeah.
floor if you're strong enough. And, like explosive ball slams or sprints on the rower or the
Yeah.
skier or even the bike, just to get your
Yeah, like arms only bike.
yeah, get that
Yeah.
nervous system fired off and get your body prepped and literally get fired up for the workout for me and for our clients is essential to, wake up their nervous system, especially if they're coming in and they're feeling a little down. It's important to, get them fired up for the workout. And, vice versa, if they're already amped up, you see a client come in, they're already overstimulated, maybe we should kind of start off with some lower intensity like
Mm-hmm.
mobility and incorporate some more down regulating stuff, maybe do a little bit of breath work before you get started
Yeah.
to kind of find a good medium level to work from.
Yeah.
But so many different ways you can work out and
Yeah.
program.
I had this female friend that I used to talk to. She was a like kind of like a bodybuilder type, and she's like, "Do you think I should be doing like CNS prep before I start like my bodybuilder workouts?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. You should be prepping your CNS because she just go in there like a lot of meatheads do. Just go in and do a couple of stretches and then get right into some warm up sets. And it's like,
Yeah.
nah, fire up that CNS. Like get your tissue warmed up. And fortunately, I don't have contact with her anymore, but I don't think she ever had any like significant injuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, CNS prep, central nervous system prep, if you're not familiar with the term, is super beneficial to workouts. And when it comes to fighting, that's one of the things that I focus on most with the fighters is power delivery and power absorption. Like you have to be able to like land in your joints, be able to absorb the force of like jumping or even catching a med ball coming back at you, like stabilize in certain positions. Because like I don't know, because you've been a fight fan for a while, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, it's an old fight, so it's kind of a pool, but it's Tyron Woodley versus Carlos Condit. Condit got kicked in the lead leg and like kind of like spun around, and his plant leg, he tore his ACL.
Oh.
And it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And Carlos is a pretty hypermobile dude. Like I've worked with him a little bit. Great guy, cool, really cool guy. But it's one of those things. I was like, man, his tissue just wasn't in a position to absorb that force. And so that's something like that I work a lot with the fighters.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so you kind of get two birds with one stone there. Like you get the CNS fired up, but you're also working on tissue tolerance, which again I'm a big fan of.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So what do you have like? You have High Rocks coming up in April.
March.
So you are doing the one in Houston?
Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cool.
then April is Miami. If I can find a partner, I want to do that. But I think either way, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I love Miami.
I've never been.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, it's the best place on
I-
earth, second to New York and
Interesting.
Switzerland.
And Switzerland, yeah. I've been to New York. That
Lovely.
was a great time. Well, that's when I went for the fight that John unfortunately
that's
had to
right.
pull out from.
When
But
was that?
it was sick, dude. It was
When was
like
that?
early December of last year,
Oh,
like
okay.
2023.
Nice.
The weather was actually really nice. It was like 50s, so it was like light sweater and jeans,
Yeah.
like just walking around. The fight card ended up being sick. It was at that time, and I'm pretty sure it still stands, the shortest amount of fight time in UFC history for a main
really?
card. Yeah, because
A
every
bunch of
fight,
finishes?
yeah, a bunch of finishes.
That's
All of them were
awesome.
finishes,
Hell
and
yeah.
most of them were in the first round. So they were all
That's
super
so sick.
exciting. That was the first time Alex Pereira fought Yuri Prochazka.
Oh wow.
So he knocked him out in that fight, and then the main event was, like I said, it was Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich, and he knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah.
So
that's
and
dope.
like Mackenzie Dern, who did she? She fought someone tough. Maybe Jessica Andrade. Someone really fucking tough, like a bulldog of a fighter. And she ended up, I think she got submitted early. But yeah, it was sick. But yeah, New York was dope. I actually liked it more than I thought I would. We were very fortunate to be staying like a block away from Times Square.
Yeah.
Like we got in a pretty cushy like
That's sick.
penthouse actually. It
Oh
was
wow.
It was like a 2 or 3 story penthouse,
awesome.
like 50 stories up.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to David Freeze. What a fucking dude.
So sick. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and like truly like a genuinely good dude, but also a huge fight fan. He knows more about fighting than I do.
Really?
Yeah, he's loved it for a long time. I got into it. Kind of funny you were talking about how you started like playing football and like getting into MMA to like impress chicks.
Yeah.
I was telling Paul, the awesome sound guy up here, I was telling him on Tuesday that I started training fighters strictly to like impress a girl. Because we got this fighter coming into the gym that I was at in Albuquerque. It was called Define Fitness, and I didn't know anything about fighting. I knew like old school boxing and a little bit of wrestling, but I didn't know any MMA stuff. So this girl comes in, and I knew she was like a big name in MMA, and I was like, I went to grab lunch with this girl that I had been talking to, and I was like, yeah, we just got this big fighter at the gym. I can't remember her name. She's like, she shouted out one fighter. I was like, no, not that. And then she said, oh, is it Claudia? I was like, yeah, it's Claudia. Claudia, that rings a bell. Claudia Gadelia. And she got so hyped, and I was like, all right, I'm going to find a way to introduce him. That was how it started. Like, I'm going to find a way to introduce him because I know she'll be really excited about that. And then, so I started talking to her strength coach and kind of picking his brain. And then I ended up covering her for a session, and we hit it off really well. And then I ended up being her strength coach for the next camp. And
Wow.
so I became really good friends with Claudia. Yeah, she's a dope individual. Like she taught herself English. She was working at the UFCPI. Like she is a very like dedicated, hardworking person. But and I fell in love with it after that, and I just ran with like my MMA knowledge and stuff from there, and then went back and started watching a bunch of old fights. But it started with me trying to impress a girl. Yeah, tale is old, and
It'd
I
be
think
like
Paul was
that.
like the first person I told that to, and I was like, you know what, let's
That's
tell it
funny.
on the podcast. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah. New York was dope. Haven't been to Miami. Miami kind of strikes me as like Vegas.
Nah,
Like,
man. I
oh
mean, it
yeah,
can be, but it's just like the culture is just so awesome. I mean, we're Latino, you know, so like fitting in there is so easy.
yeah,
There's so many beautiful women and fit people. You know,
yeah.
everybody there works out. It's super motivating. The fitness. I mean, fitness culture here in Austin is huge, but out there it's super awesome too. And you know, you have the beach. It's also great temperature. It's warm water most of the year, I believe,
Oh, nice.
and it's clear water in most places. And it's just like the vibe is just awesome. You go out and everywhere there's something going on every night. The music awesome. It's all, you know, usually reggaeton or Latin
Oh
music going down.
yeah,
Everybody's dancing. Like you go to a concert here in Austin, whether it's reggaeton or not, usually nobody's dancing.
yeah,
Go out to a club, nobody dances.
yeah.
I love dancing. You know, I grew up dancing with my family. Everybody, you know, parties hard and dances hard.
Same. Yeah.
And so like going out to, you know, a city where everybody dances and like has a good time, it's fucking
Damn, I
awesome.
gotta go.
Yeah, it's super dope.
Yeah.
Food sucks.
Really?
Service sucks.
That's what I was about. I was about to say. I bet the food is dope. But
Nah,
no,
man.
damn.
But the vibe is dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. That's the
That's
exact
why New York.
opposite.
That's why New York beats it, even though New York doesn't have like awesome beach or anything like that.
Yeah.
And nature sucks. There's a lot of dope restaurants.
Insane.
All the bodegas are open pretty much 24/7, so you always have access to food. You know,
Yeah,
I
and
love
like
to eat.
good food.
Gotta
Yeah.
get my protein. Gotta focus on my gains.
Yeah.
So even though it's late night, I still want to go eat something healthy-ish. I don't
Yeah.
want to eat a slice of pizza. You can go to a bodega and get a full-on breakfast, eggs, omelet, or
Oh,
chicken,
yeah.
whatever you want. It's available 24/7. Kombuchas, coconut juice or coconut water, whatever you want is
Yeah.
available 24/7. There's a gym, dope ass gym, or cold plunge, like a sauna house
Yeah.
on every corner, pretty much. You know,
Yeah.
might be exaggerating a little bit, but like everything is top of the line, state of the art. The newest thing is available in New York, and
Damn.
everything's on every corner. There's a shitload of people. Like I love people watching, so walking
Same.
around in the city is awesome, and it's just I love New York. I definitely want to spend some time there. So I think this year, my brother and I gear up to, you know, start traveling a little bit more. I think I want to spend some time both in Miami and New York, and then
Yeah.
hopefully in Europe.
I wouldn't mind going back to New York for sure. I had a great time. Like you said, the food was great. All the places we ate were awesome. Even like what appeared to be like a shitty little pizza stand at 3 a.m. I was like, oh, that was actually pretty good. You get
Yeah.
like a cannoli there as well. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I go in for the sweets, but man, I really enjoyed the food. I don't know if I'd want to go over. Have you been over the summer in
Yeah.
New York? I hear it's like really humid because they don't get a lot of airflow because the buildings are so tall.
I don't remember it being. Yeah, I mean it was pretty hot, but I mean,
Yeah.
here in Texas it gets
Oh
miserable.
yeah, Texas gets nasty, but at least
Yeah.
like here, like I could step outside and there's not a skyscraper blocking the wind from me if there's a breeze, coming off the ocean. 'Cause that's what like I hear about New York is like it just gets real like pungent, like the
Yeah.
city just starts to
I don't
stink in the
remember, but
summer.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, Miami's high on my list of places in the country that I want to see. I want to go to Nashville first. I feel like that'd be a little more fun. I like to dance as well. I went two-stepping the other night with Andrew Craig and his girlfriend and a couple other
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu chicks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna meet up with you guys.
Oh, no
My
way.
brother and I were gonna meet up with you guys.
Oh,
but
dude, it was super fun.
yeah, we didn't get a chance. I actually left my wallet at the house, which is
Uh,
good because I didn't need to stay up too late.
yeah, it ended up working out.
But yeah.
We went to
you guys
White
were out.
Horse.
Yeah,
Went to White
that's
Horse
the
and
spot now. I
cut a
guess.
rug.
I haven't been.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a little more swing dancey than I'm like used to. Like I've done a lot of two-stepping. And so like when there was like a good song to come on two-step, I'd just grab one of the girls and go out there and cut a rug.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I had a blast, man. That's fun. But
That's
yeah, I like
awesome.
to dance. Like, being Colombian, like you said, being Latino in general, like yeah, dancing is such a part of the culture and just
Mhm.
being loud and having a good time and good music.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, dude, I swear the apartments I live at now, there are so many like Hispanic families there, and like I could walk my dog around the complex and I hear like 8 different kinds of like music. just
Oh yeah.
blaring. I'm
That's
like,
cool.
man, these fuckers are getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's a good time. Colombia was a blast. I went to this club in Bogota. We were at my cousin's house and we'd had a couple drinks there and we're like, yeah, let's go out to a club. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm in Colombia. Let's go to a club. and the music was great. We get in there, it was a cool scene. And then I grab this girl and we go to head out to the dance floor and like security cuts us off. And I don't speak enough Spanish to like really understand what's going on. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And we get back to the table and I talk to the chick. I was like, what was that about? And she's like, oh, it's all drug dealers and prostitutes on the floor right now.
Shit.
So yeah, so like you're not like nobody's allowed out there right now.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Thank
Shit.
God that they stopped me because
Yeah.
I do not want to get stabbed in Colombia.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, but it was cool, man. It was a great time. Still to this day, the worst hangover I ever had in my life. They have this drink called aguardiente, which is like fire water.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's like a liqueur. It's clear. It's to be honest with you, I don't like it, but it's traditional with my family. Like we always drink it but it tastes like black licorice, so I'm not a fan. But we had been drinking, I think, like a sugar-free or like a low sugar version at my cousin's house.
Yeah.
And then we went to that club, and the label of the bottle was a different color, and I didn't realize that meant that it was gonna be like higher sugar. Dude, I woke up feeling so bad, so bad for like it ruined the whole next day because we did some really cool stuff the next day, like some like sightseeing stuff. And got some good
that's
food.
the worst, man.
I know. I was like, damn it, dude. I was like, I'm never doing this again. Because again, we saw like some really like this town had an underground cathedral carved out of salt, like in an old salt mine.
Oh.
Yeah, the town is called Zipaquirá. And it's like this old like brick road, like everything's old, but like the money that they make from that salt mine, there was a super modern hospital like right at the beginning of town. I was like, oh, that's sick. They have this big, beautiful hospital. So all their money's going to like the right stuff.
Yeah.
But you go to this underground mine and I was like, it was so sick, but I just felt like I was dying. And then like I was like, I don't know if I can breathe in this. I started getting a little anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, it's so
I've had
bad.
that feeling multiple times. Where it's like, damn, you already paid for all this stuff to go on this tour, and damn, you're like, I gotta get up at 7 a.m. even though I'm hungover as shit. I already paid for this. I gotta go do it. It's a struggle.
Out of all your travels, where do you think the best food is?
Definitely New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I've been to Italy. I did not like Italy.
No
Yeah,
way.
terrible
I hear
food.
everything's great in Italy.
Nah, I didn't like it.
Okay.
I mean, we went to the Amalfi Coast, so that was dope.
Yeah.
I got to go cliff jumping and go swimming in the dope ass beaches and seeing those dope ass sights. So that was cool, but the food wasn't my favorite.
Interesting.
I might have gone to the wrong places, but everywhere I go in New York, solid food.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best pizza ever. And I guess I just enjoy greasier American style pizza than
Americanized
Italian
pizza. Yeah.
pizza, more traditional.
The one thing I've heard about Italian food is like I've had a couple buddies that'll go out there and be like, man, you can have like a big bowl of pasta like at night, and you wake up in the morning feeling fine. You don't feel like super bogged down because everything's so like clean there. You don't have like this ultra processed like hard ass spaghetti straws that you're
that's
cooking
true.
there. Everything's fresh.
That's true in New York too. If you go to like a nice fucking high quality Italian spot, same thing. Pasta's homemade, and also like, dude, the bagels over there, unmatched.
Oh, dude, I went to I think it was called like the Bagel Shop.
Yeah.
And there was like a line out the door. We went in there. I got 2 bagels because I was like, I'm who knows if I'll ever be back here. I was like, let me get 2 bagels. And yeah, I came back like with like I don't want to say a bagel fetish, but I was like, I got to find a good bagel here in Austin.
I was making my homemade bacon, egg, and cheese bagels for like 6 months after I got back from New York one time. Yeah, I did develop a fetish after that. But yeah, New York, definitely best food.
Yeah.
I mean, Austin is great food too.
Austin has phenomenal food, dude. Yeah. Honestly, that's probably if someone had asked me like, where's the best food you've been? Don't get me wrong, I loved what I ate in Colombia, but some of it was like I had like blood sausage. Like you have some like the weird like local cuisine.
Yeah.
A lot of like chicharrones, which are really good, empanadas, which are phenomenal. But big protein portions with like rice and beans in Colombia is like kind of the tradition there. But if I were to have someone ask me like what's the best food scene, I'd probably say Austin. Well, New York obviously, but I've eaten way more here than I've eaten in New York.
Yeah. No, Austin for sure, one of the top places. But there's not as much variety or like different, right? Like in New York, there's 10,000 restaurants.
10 million people. So yeah, crazy. I found a good bagel spot here called Wham Bam Bagel. It's real close to the gym too.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's by Onnit.
I don't think I've been there.
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, check it out when you get a shot.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's funny we're talking about all this food, and I'm like, before we started the podcast, I was like, I'm on the tail end of 100 hours fast.
How much longer do you have?
It'll be tomorrow at 3 a.m.
Oh, okay.
But I'll probably wake up at 5 a.m. for my morning clients. So
what's gonna be your first meal?
Dude, I'm honestly, I'm gonna try to find some like watermelon juice. Yeah, something easy that like get some calories in.
Hell yeah.
And then people have been telling me like Greek yogurt to get like some like cultures back in your stomach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little more research, but like, I don't know. I've had another person tell me bone broth. So I need to. I'm what I was planning on doing is asking Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I asked Chat GPT what's the best thing to eat after a significant fast. But yeah, dude, interesting. Every morning, Monday I was fine, Tuesday was okay, and then yesterday and today.
100 hours? How many days is that? 4?
Yeah, a little. It's 4 and change. I was starting off with 72. I was like, I'll go 72 hours and give it a shot. And then Ty from the gym, he's like, don't be a pussy. Like, do a week. I was like, I'm not gonna do a whole week. I was like, I'll meet you at a nice round number. I was like, I'll do 100 hours.
A long time. Yeah, I'll have this like cleanse thing. It's like a rainbow cleanse, Zen cleanse, what it's called. I think Dana White has talked about it before.
Okay.
I got it like a year ago, so it's about time that I do it. But it's like a 7-day fast or cleanse. I think you have like different teas and things that you drink throughout the day, and like a final like liver cleanse at the end that you do.
Oh, nice.
So I need to do that. It's been a while since I've done any type of fasting or cleanse, and
yeah,
it's about time. So I think I need to hop on that fasting.
Let me be your inspiration.
Yeah.
I've gone to Juice Land and I've gotten like
that's where they have good watermelon juice.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's a great idea. I should probably do that today.
Load up for tomorrow. Once a week.
Yeah, I would do like a 2-day cleanse sometimes, and I would go to Juice Land and just get like they'll sell like the little 6-packs.
Oh,
I was like, all right, cool. I'll just get a 6-pack of juices, and just kind of clear out my system with that. And man, yeah, Juice Land is great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course, man.
Yeah, you have anything else to say? Any words for the people?
Nah, man. Stay savage. Do something hard today.
Yeah.
And tomorrow. Just don't burn yourself out. You know.
Yeah.
Titrate difficult shit into your life, one step at a time.
Get uncomfortable.
Build up that resilience.
Yeah.
And then challenge yourself.
All right, cool. I mean, everyone knows where to find you already, but go ahead and tell the people where to find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Primal Swoldier on Instagram, or Eric Leija. Check me out. I'm also on YouTube. Just crossed 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
That's big.
Start posting more though, but it's big. So
yeah, I need to get on YouTube.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'll check you guys later. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in, man. Again, it's been a blast. Good to hear like some of your backstory. Obviously, I've known you for a couple of years now, but to get into like some of the nitty gritty about it is always enlightening. Like when I had Juan on, I was like, man, there's a bunch of stuff I didn't know. Yeah,
my brother has the craziest stories. The other day, we had dinner with some friends and ran into one of our friends, and he was telling the crew a story where my brother used to go downtown a lot. And my brother used to fight people a lot back in the day when he was younger. He was a troublemaker. And so when they were downtown, Johnny, our mutual friend, he runs up to my brother. He randomly meets him downtown. He's like, Juan. He knows that my brother used to fight a lot. He's like, somebody just broke my nose. And his nose was like over here on this side of his face. Some random guy came and punched Johnny in the face and broke his nose. And then my brother's all drunk and he's like, used to watch a lot of fighting and boxing. He's like, I got you, man. He's like, I can fix it. He goes, he has no medical training. He snaps his nose back into place.
Watch one too many movies.
Yeah, but he did it.
Fuck.
And it looks good.
That's the best part. It looks good.
That was so funny.
Yeah, he told me a story real quick about he ran into a guy like when Onnit was first getting started, and he ran into a guy because he was wearing an Offit shirt. It said Offit. And I guess he like went in on him on like just like threw him up against the wall and shit. I was like, damn, Juan, you're a savage.
Or this one time he was at Gold's Gym, and there was this guy who was like having a bad day. He was like, he bumped into my brother, I think, while he was on his way to their getting at the water fountain.
Yeah.
And then he ran into him again, or I think he was mean mugging him at the water fountain. And then my brother's off this like in this other part of the gym, and the guy comes up to him again, and this time bumps into him. And then he's like, what, man, you got a problem? My brother's like, what? I don't have a problem. And they start talking shit to each other. My brother picks him up, slams him into the mirror, breaks the mirror, pins the guy to the ground, and restrains him. And they ended up coming and they kicked that guy out. They're like, oh, we know you, Juan. You've been coming here for years, even though you just broke that mirror. You're good.
Yeah,
we're going to kick that guy out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has no he's not scared to back down from a fight.
No, yeah. I've sparred him a couple times, man, and he hits hard. Yeah, he's got some hands for sure.
Yeah, but he's got a ton of stories. You probably should have him back on here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'd love to run it back. I'm sure he could tell more stories. All right, everybody. Again, I am your host, Nick Gomez. This is the Lions Pit Podcast. Thanks again to my awesome guest, Eric Primal Swoldier Leija. Don't forget to tune in next time. Shout out to the fine folks at LSKD for providing me with the finest workout apparel. And we will see you guys next week.